crispy pork belly without an oven? Yes, please. Good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Ill-Equipped Kitchen. Today, we are making a classic Cambodian dish of pork and rice. Classically, what this dish is a thin piece of pork that is grilled over a barbecue or pan-fried and served with rice and a few pickled vegetables. Now, what I want to do is I want to pimp it up a little bit. So, what I've gone and done is I've gone and bought a beautiful piece of pork belly. We're going to cook this pork belly down in beer very, very gently. That is going to render out most of the fat in the pork belly. And the beer is going to evaporate. And then the pork will continue to cook in its own fat. And that is what will make it super crispy and delicious. The pork belly might be a little bit fatty, so what I've gone and done is I've got a pineapple, which isn't classically what you serve with it. You usually serve it with pickles. That, with its sweet acidity, is going to cut straight through our pork belly and really equalize all of that fat that's going to be in there. I can't wait to make this, guys, so let's get up to the kitchen and let's cook it up. So here's all the stuff you're going to need to make an incredible pork and rice. A really nice big slab of pork belly, 4 carrots, a green mango, a beautiful pineapple, a really good hunk of ginger, some spring onions, 4 beers for cooking with, maybe 1 for drinking, a couple of limes, and a few passion fruit. And of course, you're going to need some rice. So that is everything you're going to need, guys, for the best pork and rice out there. So I'm going to start out with our pork and we'll go from there. So we're going to pop our big pork belly and we're just going to put it straight in our big pan. Then we're going to grab our cans of beer. Okay, now we're ready to go. And we're going to put our 4 cans of beer, minus a good glug. Ooh, I want 1,000 real. I'm going to make sure to keep this little bad boy because that's 1,000 real, that's 25 cents I just won. So we're going to take 3 of the 4 carrots that we've got, leaving 1 behind because we're going to pickle that later. And we're going to put these into the pork with the beer. We're just going to jack these up and they're just going to go straight in there. And we're going to do the same with our ginger and straight in the pot as well. What we're also going to want to have to do is use some of these spring onions and pop those in there as well. Now, what we're going to do with this pork is we're going to put it on the heat and we're going to really gently bring it up. And that is going to start rendering out the pork fat. What we're going to do is keep this going for about 3 or so hours until all of this beer has evaporated, leaving just the pork fat. We're going to take out all the vegetables and the aromatics and then we're going to fry the pork in its own fat. And this is how we're going to get crispy pork belly without an oven, which I think is pretty fucking cool. So let's pop this on the heat and we'll get started. We're going to bring that up to the boil and then just lower the temperature down so it's on a gentle simmer. And as I said, we're going to leave that for about 2 or 3 hours. Most of the beer should have evaporated and we'll be left with just the pork in the fat. We'll take out the vegetables and then we can get frying and making it super crispy. So what I've just done is covered our pork up because what's actually happening is the beer is evaporating a little bit too quickly, so we want to trap a bit more of that steam in so it's going to cook through the pork. We're going to give it another hour with the lid on, then take it off for another hour and we're going to be sorted. Then the beer will have boiled off and then we'll be ready to fry it off and get it nice and crispy. So we've got the pork on the heat and that's doing its own thing. So what we're going to do now is get all of this stuff ready. So what we're going to do is take the skin off this green mango and we're going to use the peeler to peel off really thin slices of it. And then we're going to julienne that and we're going to leave it in the fridge covered up and that's going to be ready to just go alongside our pork and rice. Absolutely beautiful. Now, we're going to put that into, got a little fat bit there, just try that. See, it's sharp, it's got that mango flavour, but because it's not ripe yet, it's got a really fresh kick to it that is kind of citrusy actually, more than anything else. So that is going to be beautiful. So let's put that in a bowl, we'll cover that up and we'll put it in the fridge. Now, for our next piece, we're going to want some carrot. And I think we're just going to want to take off the skin of this carrot and we're just gonna slice this up super fine. And then that is all gonna go into a pickling liquid. Bunch of vinegar in there. Add some salt to it, great. And then some sugar, about a tablespoon each. I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. And then we're going to want to mix that up until it's all incorporated. So you just want to have a taste of that. And that's perfect. And then we're just going to douse our carrots in the pickling liquid. And that again is going to get covered up. I'm going to put that in the fridge. This is just starting to pull away from the meat. And it tastes really very good. We're going to give that another hour or so, and just until all of that liquid has evaporated off, and then we're going to get to the frying part of it. So everything's basically boiled down now, guys, and I'm going to take out all of those vegetables, the carrots, the spring onions and the ginger, just to give that pork a little bit more breathing space, and then we can really start frying that pork off. I've just taken out the vegetables, and what I'm also going to do now is take out the pork. Then I can crank up the heat on the liquid and get rid of all of the excess beer, so we're just left with the pork fat. Right, so everything's boiled down now. All the beer is evaporated and we're just left with the fat. We're going to put the fat into this pan and start very slowly frying off the rice. We've got to do this little switcheroo because I haven't got a pan with a lid other than this one, and we need to make the rice. So let's get that done now. And let's pop that skin side down into this pan. And it's just about enough. And now I've got to try and work out how to get this off the bottom of my pan. So now we're going to do our rice. Every cup of rice, you use 2 cups of water. Before putting the water in, we're going to fry it off a little bit. I might use a little bit of this pork fat actually. Put a little bit like that in, and then we're going to fry all this off. So then, this we want to coat in the fat, and that's going to give the rice a great flavour. And we're going to fry this rice off for a good 2 or 3 minutes. Whoa! So that's fried off now, and then we want to add 6 cups of water. And just make sure it's all up on the sides. And then you're going to want to bring the heat up and boil that for 15 minutes with the lid on it. Where's my lid? Heat up, lid on, and leave that for 10 minutes to boil down. So we've got the lid on the rice, and we're going to cook that down for 10 minutes now on a low simmer. After 10 minutes, we're going to turn off the heat, take the pan off of the heat, and leave it for about half an hour just to steam. Oh, we forgot to season it. Make sure you put some salt in there. A couple of good pinches of salt goes in the pot. Lid back on, crisis averted, we're all looking good. Ow, just got spat in the face of the pork. So let's have a look at that. And oh, that is looking amazing. Oh, stuck on my fork. It's a little burnt, but that's just the sugars from the beer, so don't worry. But that is going super crispy, really delicious. And it's almost like you have used an oven to cook this thing. Look at this light, guys. Can you believe it? It's so crispy. Now that our pork's frying off, we're just leaving it gently frying. We're just going to get everything else together that we need to finish off this pork dish. So we're going to get this lovely pineapple, core that, go along these beautiful lines that have been created for us. We'll get that into a little bowl. We're also going to have our passion fruits, which we're just going to slice open. That's going to be something we're going to put on top at the very end. Slice open these limes and just get some nice chunks out so that we can squeeze those over right at the end. So there is everything ready that we're going to need to dress our pork and rice to make it really special. Let's place it up. So here's our finished products, guys. We've got our rice, we've got our pork. That has gone super crispy and delicious. We've got our mango, our carrot, passion fruit, limes and pineapple, and then some spring onions here to go on the top. This is exciting. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a nice bit of rice in the bottom, and then we're going to go through a couple of times and give a couple of really decent pieces of this pork belly. That is so gorgeous right there. And we're just going to plate that on the side of our rice, and we're going to put a nice little bit of the mango on there, a couple of these hunks of pineapple, and then as the garnish, let's get a spoon and just break open this pomegranate, and we're just going to drizzle that over the pork. And that's going to really help cut through because it's a really nice sharp pomegranate there. Just taste that. So good. Let's get a couple of bits of these carrots. You don't need a lot of that, but just pop those in the middle. Little squeeze of lime on the top there just to freshen everything up a little bit more. That is a truly beautiful place of food, and I tell you what, the only way to tell you about it is to eat the thing. And let's get a little bit of everything on there. It's like the pork and rice you get here, but with a few extra special little touches. And yeah, it's delish. The pork has really rendered down and it's soft, but it still holds its texture. And the fruit that we put on there slices through everything. Make it, enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed watching this, then go and make it, but also help me out. If you think I've earned it, hit the subscribe button so you can see more content like this. Like it and share this around with your friends. I want this to take off and I want as many people to see this, and you can really, really help me with that. So please do share it around. Guys, that's one more episode down. I'm going to enjoy a plate of pork.